Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azman bin Hashim and I will talk about investigating factors affecting Malaysian communities toward e-learning acceptance. First of all is abstract. E-learning has been substantial expansion and use in education, particularly considering the global disruption created by COVID-19 outbreak. This study dive into the complexities of e-learning acceptance among students with an emphasis on those enrolled in distance learning. The pandemic generated an urgent need to reconsider how students interact with online education tools. While distance learning from students has established digital learning practice, the pandemic brought about alteration and demanded examination. To gain a full understanding of the elements impacting e-learning acceptance, these studies propose the creation and validation of an expanded technology acceptance model TAM, specifically adapted for nuanced perspective of student e-learning adoption patterns. This study develops several hypotheses about the relationship between these factors and e-learning acceptance, such as the positive relationship between social influence and e-learning acceptance. The research objective include determining social influence among students in the context of e-learning acceptance. Next is introduction. So, background of the study. E-learning is defined as learning via the internet. The immense impact of information technology on various parts of life today cannot be disputed, nor can its increasing popularity and application in education. This function has grown even more significant in the academic arena because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has resulted in the closure of all educational institutions worldwide, creating many obstacles at all stages and levels of education, particularly among students. Following physical limits, campus closure, and restriction on student mobility, campus-based colleges have had to reconsider and reassess how they deliver successful learning using digital and online technologies. Next is problem statement. E-learning integration has become increasingly common in today's educational scenes. However, the effectiveness of e-learning programs is strongly dependent on students' acceptance and use of technology. Understanding the complex aspects that influence student acceptance of e-learning critical for educators and institutions to develop techniques to improve the learning experience. Next is literature review. Social influence. The mobile governments provide numerous options is ensured more availability and accessibility since citizens may obtain government information more conveniently at any time from any location. Cell phones are always in use and on our person. Furthermore, it enables the government to give fresh and update content to end consumers in a timely manner. As a result, governments can reach greater segment of the public, particularly those who live in rural areas and do not have substantial computer knowledge. Next is e-learning acceptance. Technology acceptance model and aims to comprehend Malaysian student acceptance of e-learning with specific focus on their perception and intention during COVID-19 pandemic. Several dependence variables derived from TAM framework shed light into this acceptance. Next is technology acceptance model TAM theory. We contribute to e-learning studies by highlighting the importance of revisiting e-learning success from perspective of student acceptance. While numerous prevailing studies stress that e-learning success from the supply side facilitates education, accessibility, and flexibility. We emphasize that technology is useless unless the users from the demand side fully embrace with technology. Next is methodology, research approach. The objective of this thesis is to explore the relationship between e-learning acceptance among students in Ampang Indah. The quantitative method of questionnaire, including 5 questions, will be effective in gathering the data from the audience. Next is questionnaire design. The questionnaire includes 8 parts: background information, and like skill question. In the beginning part of the information, the respondent background was present. In addition, experience involved with e-learning. One scales question was related to the acceptance of e-learning. There were 3 scales questions related to effective of e-learning acceptance among students. Next is operation framework. So the figure 1 are showing the independent variable and dependent variable of this research, which is social influence and e-learning acceptance. Next is sampling and data collection. Non-probability convenience sampling method was used for this thesis. It was one of the most efficient methods that selected samples hazardly in order to raise certain quantity of data. The questionnaire was primarily conducted online through via messaging applications such as WhatsApp. Next is reliability and validity. Since the research focused on e-learning acceptance among students as a case study, the result has relatively high validity in Ampang Indah community. By contrast, it has less validity in other areas in Malaysia. With respect to the validity and reliability of the data, the questionnaire began with explanation of the term to avoid any misunderstanding. Next is analysis method. So in analysis method, we use IBM SPSS, which is statistic package for the social science. Statistic is used in education, market research, healthcare, and ANOVA. Next is finding and discussion. So descriptive data, the main goal is to offer summary of the sample measurements taken during the research. When combined with number of visuals and analyzed, descriptive statistics represent a significant component of every quantitative data analysis. The demographic profiles in part A of questionnaires, as well as uh, the mean and the standard deviation of the dependent and independent variables. So first is gender, this is the result. Next is age, second is occupation, third is education, fourth is race, 5 is experience involved with e-learning, and that's it. And the suggestive analysis for all construct. Uh, the table 7 shows that in social influence, which is n, is 5, mean is 18.54524, and standard deviation is 3.0404. For e-learning acceptance, n stands for 4, means is 15.377, and standard deviation is 2.994. So next is reliability of data. This article used the assessment of Cronbach alpha values on produced instrument to assess the degree of instrument dependability. So the variable is social influence is end of item is 6, Cronbach alpha is 0.865 for e-learning, end of item is 4, and Cronbach alpha is 0.910. Next is Pearson correlation coefficient. So this analysis to identify whether the correlation exists between the independent variables, which is social influence, and dependent variables, which is e-learning acceptance. So lastly, so the table 9 shows the relationship between social influence and e-learning acceptance is highly positive, with correlation coefficient of 0.789. Both significant values are 0.001, which less than the highly significant of significant level of 0.05. It shows a significant statistical relationship between social influence and e-learning acceptance. So lastly is conclusion. This research proposal underscores the significance of gaining insight into the factors influencing the acceptance of e-learning within Malaysian communities. The proposed study primary objective is the development and validation of an extended model, technology acceptance model, specifically tailored to unique context of e-learning environment. This model takes into account of independent variables, which is social influence. By doing so, it is expected to provide comprehensive understanding of student attitudes and intention to continue using e-learning. So, notability, the proposed TAM model has proven to be a robust predictor, explaining 71.9% of variance in attitude and impressive 77.9% in continuous intention among Soviet students. This research underscores the critical role of students' heard embrace of e-learning technology in achieving its success. So, in summary, this research proposal highlight the growing importance of e-learning in the Malaysian context and provide valuable insights into how to enhance its acceptance and effectiveness, particularly during challenging times such as COVID-19 pandemic. These recommendations serve as practical guidance for institutions seeking to optimize their e-learning environment and foster positive learning experience. So that's all for me. Thank you.